photography began in a way that I think is true with a lot of photographers, which is with the family albums. So when I was little, I'd spend a lot of time just looking through the albums and trying to decipher what was going on in them and who everyone was, because they weren't just images of my immediate family. They were family, friends, and family members that I hadn't met before. Like, a lot of the images were from the 70s, and those were the ones I took a liking to the most. But I think at that point I realized that images have this power to capture a moment and also a person's attention, and I found that really interesting, and their ability to tell a story. It's actually kind of miraculous that I can make work and present it and share it with people and have them care. Like, I acknowledge how blessed I am to be able to do that in the first place. I don't know if there's necessarily an ideal platform to present my work. However, I know it would be a dream if I were able to make work for Vogue. Specifically Vogue Italia or Japanese Vogue, just because I think those are the most interesting. In high school, I spent most of my money on fashion magazines, and I thought that I was going to become an editorial photographer, a fashion editorial photographer. Fashion is my first love. The work that was the most embarrassing to make was actually my Other Me series, just because I had to go out into the world in these costumes, and I don't know, like, the whole conception behind it, conceptually it was about people making eye contact with me and staring at me, but when I began to do that, I realized that I didn't really love that, especially because I was in these costumes that were meant to be, like, odd looking, but it actually taught me that I prefer shooting in studio, so that's a great lesson that came out of that. I definitely think that one of the greatest challenges that artists of my generation face today is just how easy it is to compare yourself to other artists through the internet and social media, and the imposter syndrome that arises out of that. So yeah, it's just so easy to look at other artists and what they're doing and compare that to what you're doing or not doing, and what they're making and what you're making or not making. And I don't know that that's necessarily healthy or conducive to creating work that's true to yourself.